Or bring the dresser forward.
What's up, folks?
Aloha.
Morning, morning, morning. What the word be? What's going on out there in the world, man? It's good to see everybody made it through the weekend.
We did. We survived this weekend, babe.
It was a weekend. It was a weekend.
We
I'm
had
extra
a
light skinned right now. There you go.
yeah.
Mike, what's going on, young fella? Jason Ewan
Hey, Mike
in the
and
building.
Hey,
Jason
Mike
What
and
the
Jason.
word be?
and everybody else that's
Yeah,
watching.
Shout out, shout out. Armel, what up, what up? Brooklyn in the house. You made it back yet? You made it back down south? That's my boy. Who that is, Al?
That is
Tech
Money.
Money. And fam sliding through what it is
Hey,
there,
Tech.
young fella.
How are you?
Yo,
Fam.
Hey, fam, I
You
gotta know
stop
something.
doing this. I
No,
saw
no.
you tearing tactical. Why in the nice spots?
He not gonna stop. But what I need to know is how fam gets the perfect amounts of F's and A's and M's and exclamation points like every time. Is that saved in your phone, fam? Because it's exactly the same. And I'll be trying to do it the same, but it'd be like four F's and then like three A's. You know, I'm not good at my fam as fam is good at his fam. Joe VQ, what it is?
Yo, hey,
Skill in the air.
he's skilly.
What, brother? What the word be? What's going on, everybody? Yo, listen. Yeah, yo, see that? Yo, Mike, I'm trying. Not only am I trying, but there's a gang of people in the community that also are trying. So I'm gonna do 20 whenever somebody says pop 20. I'm doing 20. I'm doing 20. I don't care where I'm at, work, play,
Do 20 now.
Out.
I'm just joking.
20. I'll do 20 if
You
I need to
did
do 20.
at. Let me tell you guys how embarrassing.
Not embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
Why crew, what's up, young lady? How are you?
Hey, White Crew, how are you?
You still driving? No. Yeah, I guess so.
Hey,
You
well,
wasn't leaving till today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, E, come on, let's go. Here we go. Excuse me.
Y'all
I gotta
really,
do my
you
20.
really.
I'm gonna be right here. I promise. I'm gonna do it though. Y'all gonna probably see me pop up or whatever. Excuse me,
You
Coffee.
want to do inclines?
Gotta do my 20.
You know she's not gonna let you do it.
Excuse me, huh?
Well, anyway, while he does his 20, Walt E, thank you. And
You counting?
1, 2,
6,
3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Ah!
He did his 20.
With the intermediate dog.
Get that 20 out the way. Knock it out.
Hey,
D-Eyes, what up?
STV, how are you?
Silverback.
So,
Well, E, what's poppin'? D-Eyes, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Ain't seen you in a minute. You be grinding, I
hey,
know it.
Jova. So we was at the aquarium Saturday night, and we was with you guys, OJ, who pops in, Billy's brother. Hey, Howard J,
Now,
and the wife and kids, and we're just having a good family day.
And like 8,000 other people.
8,000 other people.
probably more than that.
He gets in front of this fish tank. You posted it right on IG.
Yeah, IG, yeah. Chris, what up? What's going on, my Hillsdale
does
brother?
20, and everybody's looking at us, and I'm like, no, don't do it. And his brother's like, go ahead, I record since she don't want to.
Yeah, shout out to my brother for inspiration and support.
Hi, DI's TV. How are you?
Yeah.
Parrot Eye. What's going
Parrot
on?
Very side. So there's this like balcony. So it's this aquarium. The biggest part of the aquarium, if anybody's ever been to Atlanta Aquarium, it's the part with the whale sharks in it and all the big ass like 20-foot manta rays or whatever.
Mhm.
And they got these viewing windows with ledges, and the kids are supposed to get up there and look at the fish and all. And I was like, kids, move. Time to do 20. Let's do it. So we did it. It was fun.
Hey, J3.
J3, what up, brother? What's going on? So either way, we had a weekend. Let's talk about that because we had an amazing
Amazing.
getaway this weekend.
Hey, shit, Sunshine.
Sunshine, I was looking for you this weekend too,
Yes,
Sunshine.
you were. Hey, Chris.
So either way, Friday I get done with work early and we head out to Atlanta to enjoy the NAGA National Conference. And let me first off say that it was really fucking nice. It was really
It
dope.
was.
So our day, our evening, I can't skip over this part. Can't skip over this part. Um,
No,
Bucky's.
not yet.
Oh
Shout
yeah, we
out
went
to
to Bucky's.
shout out to every person who put us on to Bucky. Shout out to Zach for installing it into our program. That Bucky's is a place that you should take your family and try and just enjoy. $2. What up? What up? So we go to Bucky's, right? And we're first of all, the parking lot is flooded like it's Christmas. Like people doing Christmas shopping. Crazy. Go inside, everything looks good. All kinds of beef jerky and different flavors and sandwiches and breakfast food, all kinds of crazy shit. So if you know Bucky's, you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, Urban.
So
Urban.
we go in there, uh, drop like fucking $100 on a sandwich and some water or something. I can't remember what the hell we got,
Right.
but it was dope. It was good stuff. And so we leave up out of Bucky's and we start heading to Atlanta. And we get to Atlanta, hit the hotel. Penny, what up? Where you been? Where you been?
Hey, Penny.
Hit the hotel. Our hotel is right across the street from
The convention.
the convention. So we get dressed.
White
White
side.
side.
White side, what up, brother? So we get dressed, link up with RGG and his wife, and it starts drizzling a little bit. And we tell them like, "Yo, it's right across the street. It's directly across the street." Nah, bro, no, it looked far. It looked far. Nah, let's go. So
We walked
we walk across the street. Now, mind you, we supposed to go to
the left.
the right. We're supposed to go to the right,
Yeah.
where
right.
the door is the entrance where they letting people in. But we find this little back ass entrance. When Italian mafia dudes walk in the back of the restaurant through the kitchen and all that.
That's the way we went.
That was how we got up in the convention. So we walk in the back. Lo and behold, top flight security for the president, Phil Smith, meets us. Like,
Mhm.
hey, well, I know. First, he's like, I know you from somewhere. Then I'm like, yeah, I'm back in the day. Da 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 da. We chop it up for a second, and then he's like, but you can't come through here. So he's like, politely, I'm gonna
Hey,
walk y'all
Santa.
around the corner and tell y'all the
Hey,
best
Santa.
way to get inside. Mm-mm. So we do that. We get up in the area that we're supposed to be in.
Mhm.
It's beautiful. The room is done up nice. There's a
It
lot
is.
of people there.
It is.
Food is being served and it's on the table. When you get there, you enjoy some dessert. They eat like French people. Some dessert first and a salad.
Mhm.
They start hanging out and playing music and shaking hands and meeting people. And so we felt, we were VIP and we felt like VIP.
We did.
Because we were.
Can you feel like VIP either way? We
You
felt
could.
important because a lot of
Hey,
people,
Gina.
came up to us, knew who we
Felt
were,
like very important people.
and made sure that we were good, that we didn't need anything. So we hang out. Night goes through. Next day, RGG had to run out for a little while and see some family. So we went back to what do you call that? The vendor sponsor
The
area.
it wasn't the exhibitors. Is it
Exhibitors, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Where you can go to different rooms and all that, see different classes, learn stuff. Shout out to Erica because she took a Stop the Bleed class,
Mhm.
Shout out to White Side.
certified. Shout out to Whiteside for putting Alex and Erica through the ringer, trying to, I don't
Stop
know,
the bleed.
stop the bleed. Yeah, it was weird, man. It was remind me of when I was in 7th grade. Boy, it was just stop the bleed, and then
I
and
agree
then
with you.
and then shout out to all the vendors that were there.
Yes.
Odin, our man's Odin was out there chilling. Shaw Armament, it was those my people. Shout out to them. They were there. Hood Neck was out there slinging. It was dope.
It was.
It was dope.
It was nice.
6 Hours. Shout out to them. They hung out with us. A bunch of good faces that I was happy to see. Whiteside damn sure was holding it down. Had his whole setup.
Mhm.
I think I got some candy from Whiteside.
We did.
I did.
They did, not me. Either way, it was a good time. It was definitely dope. Um, and then what else did we do? Oh, and then we
Oh,
went to the aquarium.
no.
You
You
have your cell
missed
phone?
that you and Alex did
Oh yeah, we did push
a
up.
speech. No,
Oh,
you guys did a whole
oh yeah.
Oh,
presentation speech. So I sent them somewhere. I don't even know where they were supposed to go.
I think it was the youth
While
conference.
I did a
Something like that.
stop the bleed.
while she did Stop the Bleed, Alex and I went to go see, participate, or just to generally see the youth conference. So we get to
Right.
the youth conference. Alex is the only youth there, and it's all adults and parents and grandparents and all that. But so as it starts, the young lady, shout out to Shania, she asked Alex if he wanted to, do some commentary and share his feelings and etc.
Hmm.
And then within a couple seconds, she said, "Hey, Billy, do you want to come up here and talk to everybody?" Oh, by then, like we took over the show. That
Now,
was it.
now I'm walking past because I'm supposed to be going to the next conference I was trying to get to was the survival conference
Hmm.
with Hakeem from Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, shout out
So
to
he
Hakeem.
was
Shout out to
there.
Hakeem.
Hakeem was there as well, and he's such a cool person. But I walk back and I'm like, why do I hear my whole family? Like, how do I hear these two? They over there running the show.
We ain't take over, but it was a
Y'all
dope. It
ran the
was a dope
show.
balance. It was dope balance,
It was.
and we had a good time, man. I wish
I was very proud of them. They asked a lot of hard questions that people had,
mhm, answered. Hmm.
especially Alex. Um, just I'm seeing Alex mature in the two-way world, and
I
it's going from being shy to being more outspoken and less cocky and being, you know, the mature person that
mhm.
we can see him get into. So
So I gotta say this. I want to shout out to y'all, man, because a lot of y'all know Alex from 7, 8 years old when he first started coming around, and y'all kind of molded him into his ideas and his ability to project himself and be in front of everybody without being afraid and nervous because y'all treat him like family. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all for that because
yeah,
he he utilizes the community that he's a part of to be comfortable, and that's why the community is so dope because we make each other feel comfortable, feel like brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles. You know what I'm saying? So
yep,
shout out to y'all for that because without it, I mean, Alex wouldn't have got in front of all those strangers and felt as comfortable and as knowledgeable as he did. So
right.
Hey AK Lover, hey DD Siege. What up?
Brady.
CGC,
Yo, brother Rodney Brady.
what up?
So yeah, we thank you
NYC.
guys.
Yeah, man, that's dope to us. 100%. Pimp, what's up, young lady?
Oh hey, yeah.
So shout out to y'all, man. He did well. It was a dope weekend.
It
If I
was.
I gotta look at something real quick because I gotta shout out somebody that probably is not watching at the moment, probably in her travels at the moment. Give me a quick second.
Who you looking
I don't know
for?
how far. Uh, Il,
Illum, Illuma Amani. Illumina Amani.
Illuminati, her
Yes.
name is. Miss Illuminati, if you ever see this, or if anybody is familiar with this young lady, man, she helped us from the top to the bottom this whole weekend. Made sure that we were good, made sure that we had a wonderful time, and it was just that was that beginning, that perfect touch on that VIP,
Right.
man. Yo, that's what I kept thinking. Fan, like Illuminati, she's like Illuminati. I can't even say the girl name.
Illum Amani.
I think you putting
Amani.
too much in it.
No, the end of it is Amani. Either way, White Side. I was grouping before I got to you. I was like, oh, there goes White Side.
Yeah, and I said the white side.
I
I
was
said
like,
that ain't
the
him.
White
I said that ain't him because he ain't got on his white jacket.
Side.
But it was dope, man. We had a great time. Shout out to everybody that made it down. Shout out to NAGA as a whole.
Right.
Shout out to them for doing something and continue to do something and folding into their change as they come along and accepting ideas and accepting different mind state as they evolve and grow and all that, man. Because what they did was, it was a big ordeal this weekend. So shout out to them. Another thing, do me a favor, go inside that ammo can on the far right hand side,
Oh, you,
and yep, give me one of those. Shout out to them. I want to show y'all something really cool. That they also just recently, I'll be honest with you, it's not even live until tomorrow, so I might be leaking. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but we gonna make it that way. Shout out to Naga for this,
Mm-hmm.
for doing your due, making it pop. So y'all keep an eye out for that, man. Support. Um, this is a dope move. I'm not gonna lie, and we're gonna see how this runs on the weekend, or Wednesday, one or the other. And here you go. Sorry, thank you. And we're gonna run those and see how they do. I'm sure they're gonna do just fine. I have faith. I believe in
Right.
y'all naggers for real. So shout out to y'all. I appreciate it. So what else?
Oh, if we met you this weekend, I just want to say thank you. There was a few names that I was trying to remember
Dennis, what up?
that I cannot remember, but I want to say thank you. Thank you for, supporting our channel. Thank you for reminiscing about all the arguments we have, especially the red dot arguments.
Yo, but for real, it was dope, man. I don't want to leave nobody out. That means, I
Right.
don't really want to name nobody, but I know, there was some amazing people that were around this. Walt E, shout out to you, brother.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Something by Sophia, shout out to you.
Mhm.
Angie Up, hung out with Angie Up for a while down there. It was dope.
Yeah.
Shit, the list goes
Hey,
on, but
OJ.
Damn,
like I said, I don't want to leave nobody out. OJ, what up?
Refrigerator Q.
Oh yeah, refrigerator.
Refrigerator
was
Q,
there.
that's right. OJ, what up?
Uh,
That's my brother, y'all. Say what's up to OJ Miles. That's my
That was the
older
one that
brother.
was prepping him up for that 20 push-up at the aquarium.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah. That's the one that held me down for my push-ups. But Erica had to do a lot to get this
Yes.
challenge going.
I had to visit a lot of people.
Who else? Who else was out there hanging out with us? Rita. Shout out
Oh,
to
yeah,
Rita.
Rita.
Rita was hanging out with us.
Kia.
Shout out to Kia for really putting us in the right position. Kia put us in the position to do all that we did this weekend. So shout out to her for that, man, because that was dope.
Right.
D3 and in. What up? What up? What up?
There was other people.
Yeah.
Oh, Gina.
BP's friend that told us.
Oh, yeah.
BP says hello.
Yo, BP Black Poindexter, for everybody who knows Black Poindexter, the OG triple double OG, sent a message through a member that was gonna be out there and said, "Look for this family." He must have showed him a picture. Said,
Right.
"Look for this family and stop him when you see him and tell him I said what's up from San Antonio." I was like, "Boom, yo, OJ, nope, I did it already.
You just did it.
I just gave that 20. Just did.
Might as well give him
Oh,
40.
Yup.
D3N. Yes.
Yep, that's right. Mm-mm-mm. We hung out with you and your lady.
Yep.
That was dope. And Alex loved that shirt you had on. You had this shirt with all
Mm-hmm.
the ARs and all that
Oh
over
yeah,
it.
that was a cool shirt.
Yeah. It was a good time, man.
We did. We had
Nightline. Shout out to Nightline.
Oh
Jag.
yeah.
Jag Levac. We hung out. It was cool. It was a good weekend. All the way through. Undead
was.
Prophet. What up? What up? Hey, Undead said, hey, you need to show him how that X5 Legion be air racking. He said, hey, put me on. That's gonna be a silent phone call on the side. Yeah, man. But it was dope, man. It was good. So listen, man. I guess it's time for us to go ahead and get into this topic tonight. Two things I want to do.
Real quick. Did everybody do their Monday weigh-in? You didn't weigh in today.
Oh, I gotta weigh in on Monday. Oh yeah.
Monday's weigh-in.
True. True. Either way, hopefully everybody's staying is a straight line as they can with their health. Like I said, man, sometimes it takes a little scare to get you in the right position to start treating yourself like a temple. And for sure, I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, or as many people on the same page as we can get within this community. So come the time that we need our health and we need our strength and we need our endurance or whatever, we have a little bit to grab out of the bag. So while we're hanging out and having a good time or whatever, let's do little things that we can change and tweak in our life to make ourselves better, healthier, stronger. You know what I'm saying? But on another note, the way we do our live, y'all know how it is. We drop the link for anybody to come in and hang out with us and chop it up, share their experience, their knowledge, their opinions on things. Today we'll be talking about the gray man theory. And is the gray man theory for everybody? Now, if you're not familiar with what that means, the gray man theory within the firearms world and regular life in and out, also the same, is to be as incognito and inconspicuous as possible. Within the firearms world, that means concealed carrying. That means
sight out of mind.
That means no branding, no clothing that looks like you have a firearm, no tactical backpack, tactical. I said tactical. No tactical bags, no
Or
stickers
vest.
or vest. Yeah, no stickers on the window of your Hummer. Stuff like that. Just whatever it is that makes you stand out in any form or fashion to bring attention to yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link because that's right, incognito all day, all night, baby. But because here's the thing, I do have some how can I say this? Some conflicting thoughts. Mike Ham, what up? What's popping, brother? What the word be? So I do have some conflicting thoughts on the benefits and the unbenefits or non-benefits
Mm-hmm.
of being a gray man. So I'm gonna tell y'all how I feel about not being a gray man, so somebody can come in here and argue with me. Um, First of all, I'm on the internet like a motherfucker. I'm on the internet,
Yeah.
so I can't be successful here if I can't tell people about my journey, share it with people, conversate with people, and also teach anybody if I'm in gray man status. You know what I'm saying? So I it's not that I don't believe in the thoughts and the principles of gray man, but I just can't be one because of my position and within the status of what we do. Now, coming to you live from the main Amazon warehouse deep down in the east coast of Florida. Now,
Okay, there we go. Oh my God. See, look, I'm like sitting here trying to get the mic working and everything. I didn't even know you accepted it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What up, brother?
Oh no, you good, you good. Yeah, because I'm sitting here watching because I'm at work right now, chilling. I'm sitting here watching it live because I thought the topic was very interesting. The gray man theory. All right, so I was listening to part of what you were saying. So run back through me again what you were saying before.
I was saying that me as a content creator cannot really stand by or live by the gray man theory, even though
Okay.
part of me feels like at times in certain places I would love to absorb that because of safety and because of the environments that I might pass through. But on the outside, for 95% of my lifestyle, I'm very ungray man. I'm very exposed. I'm very what would you call it? Advertising. Yeah, I'm very
You're
advertising.
you're like what some people like to call a walking billboard. You're
Exactly.
giving out free advertising and free information to people.
Yep.
And it's just the nature and duality of being a content creator. And I think that's dope that you actually put it as far as how you explained it. Because I think that's the thing that as far as anybody that wants to get into this game, that's what you're going to have to take into consideration. You're going to have to relinquish for the majority of how you want to do this, as far as go down this road, you're going to have to relinquish some of your gray man-esque tendencies.
Exactly.
So it does kind of suck. But the added benefit is that you get more people involved in the industry, you get more people involved in the community, which based off of how you project your platforms, like how, you guys do your stuff, you're educating people and showing them, hey, look, this is how you should be going about doing it this way or that way. Or if I don't have the answer, there's like 20 other people that I'm plugged into that you can talk and ask them questions about.
So
Um,
earlier, I had a conversation with a young lady. Hopefully, she pops in today. Um, and she said, "Listen, if you were a gray man, and if most of the community that you're a part of was a gray man, I would not have bought my first gun about a month and a half ago. About a month, 2 months, maybe 2 months at the most." She said, "I would have never known. I would have never been educated on what certain things are, certain acronyms mean, certain blah 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 blah. If the gray man thing is the best thing in the world, I would never be a part of the 2A world because I just wouldn't find out. How would I learn? How would I find out? And I said, you're right. I never thought of it that way. And that educational side, that informational side has to come from somewhere. 100%.
that is definitely very, very, very true. And it's actually kind of cool that it happened that way and why this live is even happening because, like you said, the educational part needs to happen because we got so many different acronyms and terminologies and yada yada yada. It does get confusing. I mean, it gets confusing for people like us that are involved in it. Like the new thing now, GPRs. Like it's just putting a word to something that was already existing.
Yeah.
But definitely teaching as far as like the gray man, because I wouldn't even consider it a theory. I would call it the gray man art because it's an art form. Because that gray man, as far as mentality, it's both a mindset and a observation of your surroundings.
Yeah.
So like here's an example of that for everybody, right? A practical example, right? So if you were sitting in the mall, right? If you were in the food court, right? And you see two different individuals sitting either by themselves or you can say they're with two or three other people, right? If they had a backpack on, like they're just sitting in the seat with a backpack on, would that be a cause of alarm or would that not even be a blip on your radar? That's number one. And then going further down that question, what kind of backpack? Because I love these Vertex bags that, do all these different concealment stuff. But the problem is you can walk into a regular gun store and you can find those bags. Yeah. So from my perspective, doing threat analysis, just looking at types of crimes that happen around my area and stuff, what makes anybody believe that your local gangster doesn't walk into that gun store just to go window shop?
Yeah.
So you're automatically, because again, I love Vertex. I love what they do with their bags. I think they definitely have established a foundation when it comes to the concept of gray man because all their bags are very plain, but they have features to be able to get to the gun quickly. But again, like I said, other criminals go into gun stores, they can see that stuff. So the most gray man, quite honestly, in my opinion, the most gray man backpack, go into your local Walmart and go buy a JanSport backpack and call it a day.
Yeah, yeah. So
or because you got kids, if somebody has like little kids, go get you a Paw Patrol backpack and nobody gonna question you.
Yeah, yeah. And that's another part of being a gray man. Sometimes you're such a gray man that you overcompensate to blend out. If that
and
makes
you
sense.
End up standing out.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But you're standing out, but you're giving opposite perception of what you really are. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have like a number one dad t-shirt on, looking corny as you can look, a fanny pack or something like that. Just something as corny as inconspicuous.
Hey, I don't trust dudes with fanny packs no more now because we done did that Vertex little small fanny. I no longer trust people with fanny packs. Sorry.
There's a whole lot can fit in there. A whole lot.
Hey,
so
you can dare to almost put a short barrel rifle in there if you know how to get the parts right.
Yeah. A nice folding AR. That motherfucker. Joseph Harris, what's up, big brother? Big fish, little boat, soul brother, like no other.
Mm-hmm. Oh, see, look, I forgot I can look at the comments too at the same time. Oh, interesting.
So listen, all right. So now I stand on another side of things. Now a big piece of the gray man thing is how to carry. Now you're in Florida, so your options are very limited. Am I right?
No, I'm in Florida, so my options are from here to the moon for the most part. I mean, because we recently just got constitutional carry. So as far as carrying without a license, like that's been, I mean, I've always had mine, so it didn't really change anything for me. But it does add there's new things that I have to take into consideration now because other people who don't have training can carry firearms now. That's what I have to take into consideration.
So what I'm getting at is I open carry. I'm in Georgia. I'm very, very South Georgia, and I open carry. My environment permits it. My training permits it. So for me, it's the most comfortable way for me to move around. Now, that's for the most part. At times, I will conceal carry, but I do open carry 89, 90% of the time. But that doesn't work with the gray man theory. But here's my principal reasoning why is as an open carrying black firearms owner, somebody has to get the world used to our stuff. Somebody's got to be, I don't want to say the martyr or take the fall, but somebody's got to get the world used to what the fuck is normal for us. You know what I'm saying? When they conversate with somebody that's articulate and intelligent and knowledgeable that has a firearm on their side, it will dwindle that outstanding fear that's been around for decades, and hopefully send one more person off into the world saying, "Wow, that went better than I expected."
And what's actually really funny about that? And I like what you said and how you said it. Because I just recently watched Warrior Poet's video. I think I saw it like a couple weeks ago when he dropped it. Because the funny thing is, I'm the opposite side of the spectrum. I'm not an open carrier. Even if we did have it here, I wouldn't do it. It's just I like maintaining my element of surprise. But I don't knock anybody that does it. And it's because of his videos why my opinions actually changed. Because the reason why he says he opens carries, it's a outward message to everybody around you that guns are a part of our culture.
Yeah.
Just using that as a lowest level. And when he said that, I was like, there's a part of me that wanted to say no, but I had to honestly sit back, let that digest, and I was like, you're kind of right.
Yeah.
In a nonviolent verbal communication to society, it's telling society that guns are a part of our culture, which is nothing further farthest from the truth.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Um, and just even the same way like how you're doing it, that's an excellent way to do it because you're right. The problem is never going to fix itself until somebody gets up and actually fixes the problem.
That's right.
And
That's
and
right.
it's gonna come at some point at a sacrifice where yeah, there's gonna be somebody that unfortunately jumps the gun, is gonna freak out, and they're gonna gun somebody down because they were scared or what have you. It's gonna happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
But the more that we have more people like yourself doing it and showing, hey, I can have an articulate, conversation with this person. In fact, this guy actually gave me some tips on how to fix my car today.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
It makes you feel good. I swear it does. Gina,
What's going
how,
on,
how
Gina?
you doing, young lady?
I'm good, and you?
Very well. Very well. It's good to see you. Now, I explained to you and everybody else that is unfamiliar what the gray man theory is. What is your take on it? How do you feel? What side you're going to lean into? Because Gina is a very, very new firearms owner.
welcome.
Welcome.
See, I'm the one. I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna give you a big old hug. Welcome, welcome,
Yeah,
welcome to the community.
there
We got
you
snacks
go.
over here. We got refreshments over there. If you got any questions, there's a deacon right there. Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yes. So I am the person who made the comment of if it. I don't even remember honestly how I came across this channel, but I seriously have been talking to my husband about getting my CCW and also getting a firearm for years now. And I never really took any serious steps towards doing it until I came across this channel and I started communicating, watching the lives and communicating with people in the chat and with them. And then I felt more comfortable with it. Plus, um, that guy with guns Zach, he reached out on a live once. It was like, because we're in the same city, he was like, we could hook up and I'll show you the ropes pretty much. And what I found from that is that not only was I comfortable with using a firearm, I actually enjoyed it. So it from what you said, Billy, the word you used of normalize, that made so much sense. Like when you said it, I was like, that's exactly what it does. It normalizes um, owning a firearm, using a firearm, And I think sometimes in our community, sometimes it seems like you only think of people who shouldn't have them having them,
Yeah,
instead of knowing that there's people who are law-abiding citizens who just enjoy firearms or want to have it for protection, whatever their reason may be. And when it comes to the gray man theory, I see it on both. I can see both sides of it. Personally, I don't care as much about someone knowing.
yeah.
I,
Me
personally,
neither. Gina, me neither.
that's just me. But I don't want somebody who does. I can see how somebody might, not want other people to know and just want to kind of move in silence.
Yep.
But I don't care. Now, what do I want everyone to know? Every single thing that I have in my possession? That's not their business. But for them to know that I'm a carrier, that doesn't bother me. And also, how I move in this world, I assume everybody everywhere I go is carrying, even if they're not.
Hmm.
I just assume that they are.
Yeah,
Okay, I like that.
and you'll be surprised that more times than less you'll be right.
I know.
Yeah, especially in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Ooh, ooh. You say Ohio. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do people? Because look, I've never been to Ohio. Why do people talk so much trash about Ohio? I need an explanation.
Trash as far as what way?
Like it's crazy. Like apparently y'all be having crazy. Apparently y'all have crazy crimes that happen up there. Traffic is crazy a little bit. Like
Dayton, Cincinnati. Yeah.
Know about the traffic. Y'all can't compare Ohio traffic to none of these other bigger states.
Yeah,
Georgia,
man. 'Cause, yeah,
Florida.
oh
Jacksonville, terrible. So don't even go there.
I know that. As soon as when it rains, everybody just loses all comprehension of anything that requires anybody that feels like it's just not. You know, like you see that cockroach in your kitchen, you spray it with ammonia and start freaking out on the ground. That's how everybody act when it rains in Florida.
Listen. So
Hey,
driving
TT.
wise, I wouldn't compare that. But crimes, a lot of times it's because other people move here from other states. I mean, not saying it
That sounds
ain't
about right.
crazy folk in Ohio, because it is. But a lot of stuff be people who aren't native to Ohio.
Hmm.
But there's some crazy
So,
folks here too.
Hey,
uh,
I just like to make sure that the Florida man is still undefeated because there ain't no other places
yeah,
that got a title that says they state and in person.
yeah. There ain't no Ohio man. Florida, and all the Bronx. So either way, let me put y'all both into a scenario situation. Okay,
Okay.
you're in a convenience store. I love to use this scenario. You're in a
Ooh.
convenience store and you're concealed carrying. Young man walks into the convenience store. Young girl's buying some candy at the register. The guy decides that's the time that he's going to raise his firearm and rob the store. So you have the store clerk, the little girl buying the candy, the guy with the gun right there. You're in the back of the store, gray manish. You're hanging out and you're deciding, do I intervene? Am I going to save the day, be a hero because nobody knows I'm back here with the firearm? What do I do? If the shot is clear, the girl's out the way, the register guy is out the way. Do I react?
Hmm.
I
Oh
don't
man,
know.
it's a tough one.
My
I was about to say I'm gonna let you answer first because my answer is gonna be a little bit more detailed because I have questions before I answer.
So my my like I said, like 95% of the time, my situation might be a little different because when I walk into that store before this common thief decides he's going to rob the store, my firearm is very visible, which gives him the message that if you do decide if you do decide
Go for it.
to try this store, it's going to be a fight. You know, it's not going
Give
to
me
be
about another two.
a easy go. So that's how my story not story goes, but that's how my part goes. And hopefully I just prevented that little girl being caught in the crossfire, that register guy being caught in the crossfire, and that robbery happening at all. Hopefully. It doesn't always work this fucking way, but hopefully.
yeah.
So
Okay.
that's why I oppose certain times and certain elements of the gray man theory. Because at times a visible firearms owner can save lives, can save a scenario, can save a situation. You know what I'm saying? And
And
I'm not.
what's really interesting? I like what you just said because of the fact that you have a major point. You just as a presence there is enough of a show of force. I mean, it's the same concept as far as you having security at the door. That could be
Exactly.
enough to deter somebody and say, "This might not be this place that I want to rob today."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Um, Now, as far as my answer, because again, and I think it's good as far as you have somebody here that opens carries and you have someone that concealed carries. The first question that I was going to ask was, does the perpetrator notice that I'm even in the store? Because that could be a major thing as far as if he notices me, if I start to move in any way, shape, or form, he's going to turn his attention on me, back at him. He's going to be all over the place. That's going to add to his adrenaline. In which, if I move, he might just say, you know what, bam, bam, just start shooting everybody. That could happen.
Yep. And I've
Um,
heard of cases like that.
in which the dude comes in, he just comes just to rob the joint, and he decides, you know what, F it, I'm just going to execute everybody. That
Yeah.
has happened. That could happen.
Hmm.
Then my other question was, what was the position of the girl that was buying candy in relationship to the perpetrator?
2 feet in
Was
front of him,
2 feet in front of
just
her.
just
Okay.
about to pay for her candy.
So therefore, right there, I'm already taking. If I have to engage, I'm taking a low percentage shot because on average, if she's about 8 years old, she's probably between about 5'2", 5'8". So she'll probably, if he's a grown man, he's probably about 5'11", maybe 6 foot. So on average, he'll probably her head, as far as the top of her head, will probably be right at on his stomach ish.
Yeah.
So everything chest up would be good, but that's still again a low percentage shot that I wouldn't feel comfortable taking in that type of a scenario. And then based off of the distance and the relationship between the shooter and the registered guy, depending on angles, again, I may not have the ability to engage. And then if I do have an angle, it might be only a headshot, which that's again a very low percentage shot. The point is, it would be very difficult, and I would have to wait for an opening
Yeah. Now.
if I am able to engage. But
Mhm.
best case, I don't have to do that because he'll just come in here, freak everybody out, wave a gun around, grab the money, and just dip.
Mhm.
That's the best case
Not
scenario
waiting
that I'm going to be going for.
Um, hey, Mike Hen, Atlanta open carry. I open carry in Atlanta. The only place that I conceal carry is Florida when I go to like Tallahassee and shit like that.
You got to.
Yeah.
With these
So
knuckleheads.
now, I know where I'm at when I'm around or whatever. And if things don't feel comfortable, I have no reason to get out the car. As far as Atlanta goes, or any other city that I'm in. Even Thomasville, Georgia. I see where I'm at, and I analyze the situation, and that goes with that training. It does, but at the same time, now we can go into the scenarios all day back and forth because they're not fucking real. But the thing that is real that a lot of us might do not knowing is that sticker in the back of your car that says Glock, or that T-shirt that says Canic. Gina, don't hate, don't hate, or
Ooh.
that hat
Mhm.
has a thing, fat guy with guns. You know what I'm saying? So I am almost from top to bottom, unless I'm in work clothing, I'm always advertising that I'm a firearms owner and advocate. You know what I'm saying? Real
That
deal.
part.
Brand new shave is shining like crazy, bro.
It is.
It is. Look at that.
He said, let me get my Mr. Clean on real quick.
All the way.
He said, let me go to that auto shop and get that 2-step clean on. That hey,
Yeah.
look, it looks sharp, bro. You look good.
Thank you.
Airplane.
So, Billy,
Airplane.
you're bringing up exactly why I was coming on here for.
Yes.
So, the gray man theory, which I don't believe in, is more than open carry than concealed carry. Like you just said, if you're gonna be a gray man, you can't have no bumper stickers. You can't have a backpack with a patch on it that's gun related, anyways.
Yep.
It can't say RGG. You can't say fat guy with guns. You can't none of that. You can't have ink on your body that
Uh
has
huh.
guns and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to be a gray man, I mean, you got to be. It's a lifestyle.
It's
Yep.
great.
Can't wear them 511 pants.
That's
Sorry,
right.
Yep.
That's right.
because what most people don't know, right? 511, as far as socially, is a very mainstream company now. There's people who don't even mess with firearms that not only know what 511 is, but they know at the very least it's attached to the firearms industry, and it's because of CrossFit.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they use it for
Yep.
parachuting. They use it for mountain
They do
climbing.
it. They use it for every other thing. So now you can't technically wear anything that's 511 because I know a lot of people wearing their pants and stuff, even as work pants. You'll get people that walk. I've had two people in my city walk up on me, and I'll wear. And Billy, you see what I wear? Like I don't
Mhm.
wear firearms apparel like that. I got anime shirts and hoodies all day, every day, baby. Wearing kimonos, chilling.
You
I
dress like
because I
my
had 511 because I had 511 pants on. Somebody walked up and was asking me about gun stuff.
see right away. Right away. People know. They know. Parasite, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? High Fly family,
Everything's smooth.
Erica,
I was,
uh, Real Deal, other brother, Miss Gina. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
What's going on, guys? What's up?
Chilling,
What are 511 pants?
brother. How you feel?
Airplane five.
About your opinion
I'm about to say Billy's breaking up
on this
now.
gray man theory.
Billy, you're
See
freezing
that?
up, man.
Shit.
Yeah, Billy, you're freezing. Yeah,
Sorry.
Billy, you're freezing up, and then he just put himself on mute. But somebody was asking about 511 pants. Basically, 511 is a they're not necessarily a firearms company. They started off as like a rock climbing company because that's what that 511 apparently stands for. It's like some kind of scaling for how rock climbing is done. But they specialize in a lot of apparel and like hidden equipment, stuff like that. And they
Outdoor
kind of
stuff.
branched off into other different places.
Well, what happened was a bunch of tactical cool guys started wearing 511s, and that became the tactical thing to wear. You know,
Ah,
if you were 511s, you're an operator.
see, and you know it's funny that you put that brownie point in, right? Because when I first started like doing gun stuff, I started right when they did that transition. Like you said, like all the operators were kind of wearing the 511 stuff. That's when that kind of popped up. Even though
So
you have points, the element of surprise always has the upper hand in a situation. I would love to hear. Billy freezing up hard.
Now, I've said
so
this,
Prophet,
and
I'm gonna go ahead and share my opinion on this one. Um,
Mhm.
is it bad?
it's bad.
I'm right back.
So I said this before, and I still believe this, and I got pushed back on it before. I open carry sometimes. I can still carry sometimes. I just don't care. If I print, I don't care. If I'm in a gas station, if I'm open carrying or concealed carrying, if somebody's coming in there to rob the place, nobody's looking at my crotch area. Nobody's looking at my waist. The majority of people that I've gone into places open carry and nobody knew I was carrying a gun because they don't look at my waist. They don't look at my crotch.
That's very true.
The majority of
That is
people
very
don't
true.
do that. Now, as a gun guy, I do that. I notice if somebody's carrying. I notice if somebody's printing. But I'm a gun guy. So, and let's face it, a lot of people that rob stores got guns. They're not gun people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, you know. So I think
Let
if
me
you're
know.
open carrying, you still have the element of surprise because they're not
Let me know
looking
if I'm good. Real deal. Good for me.
Yeah, you're better.
Better.
It's a little bit
Yeah,
hazy.
you're better.
Better. All right. So now, as far as the element of surprise, the reason why I open carry, for one, like I said, my environment permits it. But the other option is I won't have to surprise anybody because the situation hopefully will be prevented from the element of open carry. Just a theory, just the same. So it's not something that I want to test but it's just how I live, in my day in and day out, and it's worked so far for me. It's done me well, and I assume it's gotten me out of a lot of situations and other people that I was around because it was very visible that I was carrying, and I have a way when I'm walking around that looks like I possibly train, that looks like I possibly know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So it does show that this ain't gonna be easy. Now, if you're ready to take a body because you want to rob a store, then I would be an easy target, the first target more likely. But that's probably not in a common situation where somebody's just doing a petty robbery. They're not looking to catch a body on the way in, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I think the funny thing is, right, with the entirety of it, right, we can play basically a tennis match all day where we just sit here and go back and forth with this because and I try to tell people this all the time, right? There are consequences to all of your actions that you do, whether they be positive or negative. It's just like science. There is an equal to or negative reaction to your actions. So yeah, what everything Billy said could 100% get him shot. Or it could be the thing that actually saves everything in the store. We don't know because nobody's sitting here as a crystal ball.
That's right.
That's
All
right.
depends on the
That's
person
right.
robbing the joint.
Hmm.
Exactly. It depends. It depends on another individual that you have absolutely and unequivocally no control over. That if you did, they wouldn't even be here robbing the store. They'd probably be in a college somewhere trying to get their degree somewhere. If you had control over.
I will
Yep.
say this:
But you never know.
if you're going to open carry, I'm all for it. I open carry, like I said, but you have to have your gun in a real holster. You don't put it in your pocket. You don't put it in your waistband. You got to have a real holster.
You know, I
Okay.
actually have a question because again, I'm not someone that open carries. Um, and I'm glad you said holsters. What holsters do you guys use and why? Because at least in my head, what I if I had the ability to open carry, I would automatically just grab my Safari Land and tuck that sucker and keep it pushing because it's a locking holster, so nobody can just run up and snatch my gun out. But again, I'm looking at it from a very low level perspective. So I got two people that open carry. What do y'all use?
Billy froze up again.
I usually, I'm sorry, I'll wear a 1791 or a Serpa. I Bravo
Okay,
concealment also. It depends on which firearm.
okay.
I carry, just like Billy, I carry 1791. My theory is real men carry guns and leather holster, and boys carry kydex.
Wow.
Wow, wow, man. Everybody feels bad about their Kydex holsters. That's fine. That's fine. Hey,
Well,
look,
Wait, wait,
I live in Florida. Okay, that leather's gonna warp in this horrible heat. I ain't got time for that. Everybody do
real
their
deal,
thing.
real deal,
I'll stick to my plastic.
real deal. He cut the leather from the carcass of something he killed
That's right.
and made
Probably. I'm gonna say, did you tan the hide and everything?
That's right.
it.
Right.
Nice.
But
I
either
like
way,
leather.
man, there's definitely a million ways to look at it, and nobody's right and wrong. I swear to God, it's all about your environment and what you're trained and prepared for. And like you said, that crystal ball is not going to show us if it worked or not. It just ain't. Either you're gonna know or you're not gonna know. Parasite, can you hear us now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's your
I hope my
opinion there, young
audio is
fella?
good. Well,
Oh yeah, it's good now.
my preference is concealed carry. I'm
Hmm.
around people who, I'm around people who are in professions that put them in they have weapons. I know some police officers, one in particular, who he open carries because it's his job, but yet in other places, man, his conceal game is tight. I mean, he dressed, whatever he put on or whatever, but his conceal game is tight. My son and I were talking about that because we both conceal, and we're in the church arena, and the person I'm talking about actually is my pastor, and my son has a pastor who they're both good friends, and they all do things with weapons and whatnot. And my son is the musician, and he carries. Um,
Hmm.
and we just it's always been for me about concealment. I'm from the South, but I'm in the Midwest now, And I have no problem with people who open carry or who can open carry. The other thing is I could not carry full time anyway because of the type job that I have. I'm a federal employee, so a lot of things I have to lay low on. A lot of things I can't do openly on these platforms and forums as well. So I end up taking a gray man role in a lot of perspectives simply because I don't need that attention.
Mm-hmm.
I move in circles where as soon as somebody, soon as somebody knows too much, hey, go look at him. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't care, but I do have to keep a certain profile because that's just the way it is. But I believe in and when I can carry, when I'm off duty from my professional job, which basically is the weekends or when I'm on vacation or whatever, I carry and I carry in as many places as I can. But I do find out about the places that, are those places that you cannot, and I try to respect all of that, but sometimes I have to really express my conceal game to the ultimate, and I go ahead and take it where I want to take it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there are some places where like casinos you can't get into a casino hotel most times because there's armed guards and metal detectors. That's a thing.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good thing both ways. But you can't even have a knife. So
Yeah.
that's what it is.
So
But yet I try to work with that. But when you were talking about that scenario, I always I begin to wonder about one thing because I often think of this.
mhm.
If somebody starts something or does something, or how much do you allow them to do before you react? Or what's your bow out point? Or what's your tip in point?
Yeah.
I
Very,
always kind of
very slippery slope.
mm,
Um,
Yeah. I guess
here,
it just depends again on the other individual. Because just like the scenario Billy said, if he walked in and didn't show any kind of a weapon, that wouldn't have been an indicator for anybody. But as soon as he walked in and walked up to the counter and then presented a weapon, and granted, based off of his body position, he could have been back towards you, and you couldn't PID an actual weapon. He could have been holding a stick for all you know, and they just sitting there tripping out because it was just oh my god. But now you done busted off a split second shot, and then the body done rolled on the ground, and you see a stick on the ground, and now you charged with manslaughter.
Y'all know I went through that a couple weeks ago, right?
I was there when I watched that thing. I told somebody about that about your situation, specifically about that barbecue lighter thing,
Yep. Yep.
and I was like, and they were like, "Yo, I never thought about that. Yeah, if you hold a barbecue, it does look like, especially low light." I was like, "Hey,
The
homie."
question that you asked is what I was faced with. Do I pull? When do I pull? How close am I to it? When is go time? And that motherfucker had a barbecue lighter. One of them long ass barbecue lighters with the trigger on it. That's what he
Think
had.
about how you hold one of them long handle barbecue lighters. Think about how when you're holding it and dark time, it low key does look like a gun with a muzzle and everything.
Yep.
And I'm
a
talking
lot of
like
them
one
are
of those
flexible.
even
A lot
daring,
of them are
yeah, like
flexible.
one of them little derringers. It looks like that.
So yeah, you get into them situations where it's like, fuck, man. I got, and this was in Florida, so now I was concealed carrying. Now here's the fun part. Not saying that I don't need more training, but I train more with a regular holster than a concealed carry holster. You're gonna be better at one thing or the other. That's just life. And I might not have gotten my shirt out of the way as quick as I needed to.
Mm.
So me being well versed with open carry, little competition shooting, shit like that, I can draw fast. From a circle, I'm drawing fast. And I was worried about my own ability to get my firearm out of my holster. I swear to you.
mm,
I was I
Ooh.
was like picking my shirt up, getting myself ready the whole time. And I'm like, fuck, all I need is to snag the wrong way and I'm not getting it up until I find out.
Or you're sweating a little too extra, and now the front part of your body's a little moist, and now your t-shirt sticking to your body, and now you got to figure out how to clear that. Oh yeah, there's like a bunch of little tiny things that could go wrong. It just from science that can mess up your drawstring.
Yep. Yep.
You could be
So
jittery.
that element is there. That element
Mhm.
is all the way there when it comes to being a gray man and practicing that style of firearm carrying, draw, and all that. That's another big deal. So being a gray man, I mean, you really got to train extra, extra. It is what it is. See, man, what's going on? Extra precision, what the word is. Philly slow. My bad. A lot of people just rolled in. I don't want to miss nobody. Crazy mechanic. What the
I'm
word
gonna say,
be?
yeah. I'm looking at the chat too. There's a lot of people that rolled in.
So
I
yeah,
want
my
to
bad.
Does
I want to go
does
off what
anybody use a Go ahead.
I want to go off what Paris was talking about. Now, as far as I know, Paris, you're a Hoosier like I am. Now, in the state of Indiana, the Moss is a gun-free zone, and there's a lot of stores that are gun-free zone. But in Indiana, that is a suggestion and not a law. So I can go into the mall and carry a gun. If security sees I have a gun, all they have to do is say, "Sir, we need you to leave the mall because you're carrying a gun," and it's perfectly legal for me to be in that building with that gun. Now, if I refuse to get out, now they can call the police and I can be transferred. I can.
Yep. You
And
call armed trespassing.
now, like you go one state over to Illinois, it's a gun-free zone. If you go in there with a gun, if they go to the mall with a gun, that's a felony.
Yep.
You need to know the laws in your state, and you need to know the laws in states that you're going to go visit.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
true.
carry a gun everywhere. There's only 3 places in Indiana I can't carry a gun. That's at the public
Bank.
schools. No, you carry in the bank. Public schools, government buildings, and casino boats. Well, I don't go to casino boats. I got no kid in school. And if I go to the post office, put it in the glove box.
True that. True that. I hear that. Tap in. What's going on?
I ain't going to no bank, brother.
I go to
So
He
bank
said,
all the
"I
time.
ain't going in the bank." He said he go. He said he gonna get caught slipping just like it set it off.
I've carried in the bank. I've carried in the bank, and believe me, it's awkward. It's fucking awkward.
You
I
do
would assume
it.
so because y'all open carry. That's why it would be awkward. But if you conceal, it ain't nobody no squat. I'm just chilling.
Yeah. Well, let me throw
But I
this at
get it.
y'all real quick. This is a super duper important thought. Now, a lot of us talk about concealed carrying versus open carry being a gray man, but there's places in the United States where concealed carry is either
Is illegal.
against the law or you have to have a certain permit to do it. That's just
Hmm.
is what it is. Does that gray man process or culture go out the window because of where you live? You know,
No,
there's a lot of places you're not. You have to open carry. That's the word.
I
If you
mean, you
got to
have to
know
get a
what you
license if you want to be a gray man. You're gonna have to get a license.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's
I
the
guess
first. That's
I guess that is the bigger question. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that's the first thing I did is I got the license. I have a permanent uh license to
Uh,
carry
Mm,
in
that's
Indiana.
Indiana, great state when it comes to
Mhm.
guns.
mm,
Yeah.
interesting.
And they
Carver G,
just
what's up,
made it to
bro?
where anybody can have a gun as long as you're not legally prohibited. So many people can have it. And that was one of the things that troubled my son. He paid all that money and everything. Now anybody can. And there are so many people, trust me, who their handling will make you nervous. You know, even in the gun range, you see people who, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, you-
Oh, the gun range is a scary fucking place, boy. Damn, it's
yes,
Look, look. Like I said, I'm the one ducked off in the very far corner of the room, just peeping game, drinking my drink. That's all I'm doing.
yep. It's nerve wracking to be in there. James Wells, what's going on, brother? Brother.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's I don't I think this is one of the conversations that's it's never gonna end and it's never gonna be a right, never gonna be wrong. But I don't think,
yeah,
and I'm happy to hear on that what you said, but I don't think a lot of people change their thought process. But the fact that you listen to certain things that make good reasoning, I appreciate that because it's often just like an argument, not like, nah, fuck y'all, y'all are crazy for open carrying, da 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 da.
Nah,
Um,
nah, nah,
she,
I mean,
nah.
look, me. Prophet always, I'm always learning. I'm always going to be a student to this as an instructor. I will remain a student. I'm going to die a student.
yes.
Um, and I'm always looking for a new way to skin the cat. I'm always looking for a new way of doing something because at the end of the day, people are learning differently. People are evolving. Like one of the new things that I tell people, like a lot more people because of COVID are kinesthetic learners where they
Hmm.
have to actually have a physical thing in their hand and you're explaining to them in very fine detail what this does, how it works, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people are like that now. So even we as instructors have to adapt and change how we articulate our instruction, how we demonstrate what we actually want to do. And this is just one of those things that it's a topic that some people like to talk about and it gets talked about in certain different ways, but it needs to, I think how we had this discussion today really opens up a lot of other people's minds as far as think about it in this way. Okay, if we pose it in this scenario, here's where concealed carry would shine better in comparison to, open carry and vice versa. There's a lot of
Hmm.
different, again, we can have this conversation all day, every day, have a tennis match back and forth, drink bourbon with it, have a Christmas party, you name it. We can do all day, every day with this whole topic.
So let me ask you this. I want to dig it a little deeper.
Okay.
And respectively, Erica and Gina, um, do you feel at any part that it's smart for a woman to open carry? How should a woman? Not should. How do you prefer
Ooh.
when you do carry to carry?
That is a very Billy. Ooh, you gave me a good question. Ooh,
I
Man.
see. See. It's hard for me to open carry. I mean, I'm gonna be very open. I feel because my love handles, I don't practice enough with drawing or whatever, so I rather conceal and
Hmm.
because that's the way I train or whatever. So there's different. I guess there's more ways for us to conceal than it is
Hmm.
for you. So I
Is
don't
there
know.
a fear that you would be targeted as a female carrying? Do you look like, man, I'm gonna try to get that gun off this girl? Yeah, how people be,
Yeah,
and shit
yeah,
like that. Are you
yeah.
worried more so?
No, I'm not worried. I mean, yeah, I could say I am because I'm small. I'm smaller than whatever. So yeah, it would be more of a worry, especially if I'm jogging and stuff.
True,
So
true.
yeah, so jogging and stuff is more of a worry. With you, it's not so much of a worry.
Mm,
So it depends on the scenario for me,
I hear that.
honestly.
Gina, what about you? I know we haven't gotten to that part of life yet, but
Hmm.
are you leaning toward one direction or the other more so? Yeah.
Yep. Concealed. I bought a bunch of belts
Belly
that
button.
uh, that will allow me to do that.
Hmm.
That is my preference.
okay.
And for that reason, because I think that um, some people think that they can go at women a little different than men when
Yes.
it comes to that. If it's open, so yeah, that's my preference. Conceal for
Dope.
me personally.
I hear that. Prophet, what do you say?
Like I said, I just been sitting here just thinking because that's a very, very, very good question. And the reason, because I always like to give the why behind the what. The reason why I think it's an interesting question because I don't usually like to tell ladies how to carry. I usually tell them like, here, just look at this, look at that, and etc. Because at the end of the day, I'm not a woman. So I don't know what would be comfortable on a woman's body as far as putting the gun on there. I can tell all the dudes in here what'll feel comfortable for sure. But definitely, as far as open carry, I mean, if she can do it, that's fine. It don't bother me. It's just the only thing I would think of is because I'm thinking as far as a stable platform to be able to do it off of. Because the only
Mm,
thing I can think of is like jeans or any kind of pants with belt loops to be able to put something like a safari land on or some kind of a holster that goes on the outside.
Mhm.
But then you got to take into consideration that if you're doing that, you might have to tuck your shirt in, and that might be uncomfortable. There's definitely there's a lot of things. That's why I understand why ladies like the Vertex bags
Mhm.
and like purses like that. I get that reason. And like the new thing now that ladies are really loving, that comfort concealment belt with a holster to do a conceal. That's a dope system right there.
Yeah.
But
Women,
as far as outside carry, that's tough.
Well,
women do have a lot of options when it does when especially to coordinate with the type of gear they're wearing.
Right.
Women have thigh holsters if they're wearing a light dress.
Oh y'all,
Women
oh they killing the conceal game. They can
have, oh,
conceal like 12 different guns on them. Y'all are secret agents when it comes to the conceal game.
you.
well,
You got
the
the
difference is,
bottom.
men wear pants or we wear shorts. Women, they wear dresses, they wear mini skirts, they wear tight shorts, they wear those hot yoga pants. You know,
Hot yoga
Yoga
pants.
pants.
I think hot pants, yoga pants. They
Hot
got yoga
yoga,
pants. Now there's
Hey,
some
look,
not
guys
regular
that
yoga,
you said
just
right
hot
there.
yoga.
wear yoga pants, but they're drinking Bud Light. I don't know.
That's cold
Yeah.
yoga.
I don't know what they're packing.
I like what Siege said though because it's not always assumed that a woman would be carrying,
Hmm.
which I think is an advantage to being a concealed carrier. Because
Hmm.
if there is a situation where you would need to draw, you would no one would expect that you would be the person that is
Yeah.
carrying.
The element of surprise.
Now, let me hit y'all with this one. Rewind back 2, 3, 4 years ago. Black women marching, AR-15s out strong, prevalent, firearms on their hip, marching together in unison. How powerful is that? Strong as hell.
Oh,
Right.
that's
Oh my,
remarkably powerful.
oh my God, that's so strong. What did you just do to a whole community, a whole generation behind you? You gave them empowerment. You gave them strength. You gave them something to aspirations to look ahead to. If you don't show that this is normal for us, what
Yep.
the fuck are we gonna do next year? What are we gonna do next generation, next decade? So at some point, there does have to be a wonderful blend, a wonderful mix. It's not
Mhm.
it's not all conceal because it's safe. Sometimes you got to be the one out there on the front line showing this is normal. This is something that I want the world to know we have earned the right to do, born with the right to do, and continue to have to practice the right to carry. When Real Deal goes out into the I don't know local market or something like that, he doesn't have to act sheepish or hide in the corners. He say, "I'm a good guy. I like to conversate. I laugh. I smile, and don't be afraid of me." Just because I have a firearm on my hip. So at some point,
Mhm.
there has to be a visual and vocal strength in visibly carrying, if that makes sense.
That's a good point.
Yep. I encourage. I used to do this all the time, and I'm gonna start doing it again. And I encourage everybody. I used to on the second of every month, I would open carry. That way, if somebody would ask me about it, I could have a conversation. And this is exactly what you were saying, Billy. Hey, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a good guy. This is why I carry. This is why you can carry. So on and so on. And I always did that on the second of every month.
I dig that. And also that adds consistency as far as like, say for instance, if you plan down a specific route that you actually walk around just because you want to get exposure and stuff, right? Eventually somebody's gonna pick up on that and be like, "Hey, I done seen you for the past like 3 months, walking around, handing out lollipops to kids and stuff. At first we thought you was a local pedo, but then we realized that you're actually cool and all and blah 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 blah." Like, why do you do that? Like, that's already attention grabber, and that's gonna spark the conversation. Because what I think you're doing is dope. And again, if you have like a route that you go around, like somebody's gonna pick up on that pattern.
You don't know how many times I'll see somebody with a New York hat on down here and say, "Oh, you from New York, bro?" I never see it. I never ask. But if I see it, I ask. And 9 times out of 10, yeah, I'm
They're
from
not
Brooklyn,
from there.
Queens, I'm from Long Island somewhere, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm glad I asked because if you don't show me who you are, I can't find out anything about you, which is great for some. But there goes conversation, there goes being a human being. You know what I'm saying? So it's always going to be a gray area for this whole.
I like that. There's a gray area when it comes to the gray man theory.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. So
Well,
go ahead, Perry.
I have well, my little second job, the owner, who's also a friend, he open carries basically. He runs a shop, automotive mechanic shop, and he open carries. I mean, it's outside holster, but for the most part, his uniform is blue jean, and he keeps a blue jean jacket over it. And sometimes he rides his motorcycle or whatever. He's in a biker club also, and I mean, he was one of them that from the get go he would go get it. He could go. He's older now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard different times people walk up off the street because they cut his business is on a corner, so people come across the parking lot. They cut through to avoid the light. You got all this. And one day somebody said something, and he said they said something about a effing gun and this and that. He says, "Well, yeah," and they kind of and he said, "Well, if you get out of line, I might have to." But he also made the statement. He says, "Look, I'm too old to argue. I'm too old to fight.
Right.
So I run my business. I bring money in and out of this place, and there's too many crazy folks for me to, even worry about it or take a chance." And
Mm-hmm.
he's told me sometimes he would go across the street like to get something, a snack or something to the what is that, a Walgreens. Like
Mm-hmm.
it'd be hot in the summer, he'd forget to put the vest on, and then people will see him and call the police, stuff like that. The police be like, "Hey man, could you just put something over there?" He says, "Yo, hey, I forgot." I
Yeah.
mean, and uh I mean, he's you can tell he really never needed it. His hand is broke up from fighting. His
Yeah.
hand is broken in so many
He
places
said
from
his
the
hand
bar
broke up
fights and
from
stuff.
playing.
From his yeah. Oh yeah, literally. Uh you know,
Let me say
and
this, and this is kind
I,
of
And the,
but I try to learn from everybody because I notice how some people can really conceal really well, and I really admire when I see people. I've been wanting to go over to one of those fashion shows in Chicago with Carbonell to see what they putting on. I know it's a lot of females, but it's also males. But I try to up my conceal game. But I mean, that's just my preference. But I admire folks that can carry and can do it confidently and do it well. But I do notice, I mean, it doesn't have when we met, I heard the mention of black, and I was gonna say this that friend is not black, but he's been had the police called on him, and so those incidents can happen to anybody. It doesn't necessarily uh change anything. His son used to get caught up all the time just going to get ice cream and stuff because he open carried it with no shirt over all the time. And
Oh, he was
those
a
were
real
things
killer.
that yeah. And so that was one of the things he told me when I first started coming out in the public. He said, "Look, do yourself a favor, please conceal,"
mm-hmm.
because he was talking about how many times he's had the police called on him by somebody freaking out just because they look over and see it. But
uh,
now we're open carry all the time, so they probably don't get those kind of phone calls as much.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say to that point, Paris, I think we should all open carry it once in a while because you know what? You should make people feel uncomfortable.
Hmm.
Let people know that you're flexing your right to do whatever you're doing. Make people uncomfortable. We're in a society where everybody wants to be comfortable and everybody, don't screw those people, man. Make them uncomfortable. You live in the world. You don't live in your bubble. You live in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what?
He's
I'm a
got a
law-abiding
point.
citizen, and I'm gonna carry my gun the way I want to carry my gun. And if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
uncomfortable, then stay home. And
Yeah.
and if the police comes out, as long as you're doing everything legally, I would tell the officer, sorry, but I'm not putting on the vest.
Mm-hmm. I hear that. I hear that.
Oh, well.
I ain't gonna disagree with you.
And on the holsters, I forgot to bring it up earlier. I fell in love with this one. Am I? Oh, I'm double talking. Why?
Nah,
I think it's a pity picture.
Somebody's thing is reverbing. Somebody's
hey,
thing
Penny, do me a
is
favor if you
reverbing.
can. Can you hear me?
I think that's
Hey,
Prepper.
Penny, do me a favor. Yeah,
There it is. And there was a delay and everything. Awesome.
yeah, yeah. Skilly, what up, brother?
What's going on, everybody?
Everything
Yeah,
Hey,
cool.
what's going on, homie?
What's up? So it
So,
wasn't
I'm
me
a,
echoing.
No, it
No.
wasn't you. It was all due the Prepper.
All right. What's up, Skill? Uh, Crossbreed Reckoning. I fallen in love with it, and you can act. It's got the things you can make it outside. Also, it's a hybrid.
mhm.
Has
I'm looking that up
anybody
right
come
now
across
because I'm
that?
at my desk. No, I'm looking it up right now. You said the Reckoning?
Crossbreed Reckoning. I've fallen in love with that.
Yeah,
Okay,
somebody.
it's kind of like the Alien Gear one. It's kind of like that.
Hmm.
All right, man.
I dig
So,
it.
Skilly,
Yep.
tell me about
Ooh.
your preference, your opinion. How do you carry, and are you inconspicuous? Now, I'm talking. Don't say the wrong thing because I'm gonna call you out.
He said I'm saying the wrong thing. No pressure.
Well, with me, I don't carry full size because I don't conceal full size or anything bigger than that very well. So I tend to stay in the compact, subcompact, and micro
Yeah, sandwich.
guns. So, but I like my Hellcat is very easy for me to conceal during the summertime.
Okay, so you
Um,
conceal. Do you conceal because you believe in that gray man thought?
yeah, because I've seen too many people try people with their guns out in the open here in Michigan.
Skilly,
It-
Skilly.
Ooh.
I seen you out and about, bro, and you look like Mr. T and Slick Rick had a baby
Oh,
cousin.
child.
Boy,
You
I'm
got
about to walk off this live. I know you did not just say that.
you got 25 pounds of jewelry on when you go out, Skilly.
He's alone.
You wear orange, fluorescent pink, bright ass colors, Skilly.
I
Skilly.
mean, if you want, if you wanted to be the flamingo, you just move here to Florida and like do that. Like you would fall right in Jacksonville, bro. You would be just like the local rapper.
Yeah, you might mix it. You might mix it over. But what I'm saying is that gray man theory is a deep theory, which means
Yeah.
it ain't just about how you conceal carry or whatever. It's about your presence, your impression when you enter a area.
I
If
mean,
that makes
well,
sense.
in
I say
Nashville,
this.
you wore body armor all week.
I say this.
You did.
Um, if I bought it, I'm gonna wear it.
I hear that.
In some areas you just don't do it. Some areas you do. You know what I'm saying? If I go a particular space in Michigan, I'm not gonna wear all that. But if I'm like where I'm at, I'm out in the suburbs. So more than likely the suburbs. If I go deep into Detroit, then I won't wear it.
Okay, okay.
So
All right. So
depends on where I'm going.
where you're comfortable is once you're out of that comfort zone, is start taking it off
Yeah.
before you.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm waiting for. I'm sorry, I still got a little bit more time left. See, Billy, that goes to show how much I like you because I'm at work risking it because I said I had to join this live.
Man, I appreciate it. I do 100%.
Walt E, I was thinking the
Yo,
same
look,
thing.
Walty, look, somebody else called.
Walt E, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yo, all right, so
I mean,
And it's all black.
Hold
Tell
on,
the
hold on,
summertime out there
See,
running around
look,
the body
oh
armor.
no, I'm gonna pull it up right now because I know exactly what just popped up.
man,
I'm gonna tell
Just to
y'all
make, I'm telling you.
that was to not only spend time with my son, but that was to get familiar with that particular plate carrier. So it was
fucking public park.
yes, motherfucker, I can. Yes, I do have that right. I do have that right. Yes, I do. I have that right.
Skilly,
Wait,
Skilly
I'm gonna
bought a
find
new
it
friend
too.
a speed stick and he was trying it out. He was seeing if it
My
could hold
goodness.
up.
But
Hey, but everybody
hey,
tell me you my what's the name? He say who am I thinking of? Ben
Wait,
Street.
hold on.
He says practice with your gear. So that day I felt like practicing with my gear because my son was gonna be running. So run with
So
it.
my man,
Then
so my man was outside looking like this.
Straight
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
Straight like
He
that.
said, "Yep."
Throwing the football.
Blue, look, blue 42.
You got to hut, 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 and then was yelling at his son for dropping the ball. Pull your ass back. So anyway, man, there are definitely levels of it, and whether you conceal it or not, I think the whole gray man theory is so deep that people don't realize um, the different areas that it covers. And I'm talking about we started in the beginning of the show. This is no stickers, no shirts, no hats, no special boots, nothing that insinuates you're carrying a firearm
Right.
at all. I'm talking about no online presence, no YouTube channel,
Oh, yeah.
nothing.
I lost that
Yeah,
No,
channel.
no.
yeah,
How about
you
fitted
gotta go that far.
backpacks in the back seat of your car? Because everybody knows you got a gun in that thing.
That's right.
Wait.
No, Paw Patrol. You gotta do Paw Patrol, okay? And you
Okay.
gotta make sure you have a car seat in the back with open wrappers of fruit snacks. That specifically. Then you
That's
know
right.
establish that there is definitely a child in this vehicle, and that backpack probably belongs to that child.
You need a tactical baby seat.
Shit.
Big Zach, what up, man?
We-
What up?
What's up, Zach?
What up, y'all?
What's up,
what up,
Zach?
man?
What's up, bro?
I'm
Yeah, y'all
surprised.
talking about being great man and all this open and carrying, concealed carrying. Good conversation.
Yeah. Hey, Zach, Zach is a concealed open carrier flip flop like myself, and I'm not sure which one he prefers, but he does understand, the benefit of both. And because of his body style, sometimes it is easier for him to open carry with a shirt over it. And depending on where his area, he does have to conceal carry from time to time, like school areas, or maybe picking up your kid from school or something like that. There's a bunch of different elements that come into play. But I think Zach is also one of those people that wouldn't mind wearing a Sig Sauer hat or something like that.
And here's the thing. Honestly, when I go out, I never usually wear anything that has anything to do with a gun on it.
Yep.
Ever. I won't wear a hat. I won't wear a T-shirt. I don't have any stickers on my car. Nothing. I like the whole element of surprise. I don't have
Mhm.
anything. When I see people open carrying, but I like the element of surprise. And but I understand Billy's standpoint where he talks about it can be a deterrent because it can. But the thing that I do understand about that is where I think we may differ. When a guy decides that he's gonna do something on anyone, whether you open carrying or concealed carrying, don't matter. If he come in the door, he see you with the gun. My opinion is you're the first one to get shot
Yeah.
because
I hear that.
he's decided that he's gonna do something. So it can work either or. It just depends on the person's uh, what the person wants to do with the person that's coming in to do whatever. Now, the one thing I did hear that I did not agree with, real deal, is when you said we should be trying to make people uncomfortable.
That's just real deal.
That I don't agree with that because we're part of whether we believe it or not, we are on the fringes of society. Especially a lot
Right.
of us. We don't just have one gun or two guns. Some of us got 30 guns, 50 guns. We're real gun people. And most people ain't gonna do that. Even regular gun owners ain't gonna have that many guns. So for me, as a trainer, as for someone who's really into 2A, I don't mind trying to make somebody comfortable. I'm not gonna go out of my way to make sure that you're not uncomfortable, but I've had people ask me or say things to me, and you explain it to them. You explain what's going on, because I don't want you to be uncomfortable. Because it's just like you start off a conversation with somebody, and you start off in a negative. You're not gonna get anywhere with them. You
Well,
start
no,
off
I meant
with
open
listen, I'm
carry.
uncomfortable.
I meant open carry. If they're uncomfortable, that's on them. I'm not in control of your feelings. But
Actually, it's actually because you're a responsible gun owner. It's not really on them. It's up to you to be like, hey, listen, this is why I do whatever it is that I do.
exactly.
They may not. I mean,
I think he goes out. There we go.
you got to let them know. Listen, this is what it's
Exactly.
all about, and this is why. That's what I'm saying. I don't want you to. I don't want to come from that, and I don't want anybody to take us the wrong way as gun owners, as responsible gun owners, as real gun people. Like, listen, I want you to be uncomfortable. No, I don't. I want you to be very comfortable, and if you get uncomfortable about it, It is sort of my responsibility because right there, I'm the one with the gun. I'm the one with the ability to remove someone from here forever. So it is up to me. I believe that's my own personal belief.
And
It's
I
up to
said
me to
that
be like,
earlier,
hey,
Jack.
this
I
is what
said
I
that
want. This is what
earlier.
I want you to see.
I said that earlier that we should all carry open carry on the second of every month, and that way, when people come and ask us, we can educate them and tell them, "I'm a law-abiding citizen. This is my right to carry a gun." Guess what? If you're a law-abiding citizen, it's your right to carry the gun. I'm just
Exactly.
saying,
If you so scared, you can do the same thing.
if we
Technically,
don't flex our rights, then we're gonna lose our rights. And
I
believe me,
don't disagree with that. I don't
and
disagree with
believe
that.
me, you can talk to somebody till you're blue in the face, and guess what? They're gonna feel uncomfortable no matter what. Because you know why? They want to feel uncomfortable, and they don't want you to have a gun.
Well,
that part.
those folks that are not going to listen, I'm not going to waste my breath anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
That part. That's
they're
it.
the first ones. If something jumps off and I got to pull out my gun and I got to do something and I got to protect a bunch of people,
Exactly. I'm gonna be the one to save you, just so that you can go back to the voting poll and tell them to take my gun away that I had to use to save you in the situation that more than likely, if I wasn't here, you would have died.
exactly. And those people, you're gonna always run into those people like that. So whatever with those people, it sort of is what it is.
Yeah. But hey, Billy, I gotta sign off because I gotta go do this inspection at work. But it was dope joining the live, talking with all these wonderful people. Um, I'll just hit me up whenever if you want to, jump in the live or something.
I got
Um,
you,
What's
brother.
the
I
channel?
appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate the knowledge that you share with these people, education, etc., man, and your opinion is it counts. I appreciate
Hey,
you.
hey,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate.
Billy, have your narrator drop his channel and what's the name so I can subscribe to it, brother.
Oh, Unknown
Moderator,
Vessel,
not narrator.
his
All right.
narrator.
What did I say?
Yeah,
What did I say?
Thank you,
all
Vita.
you narrators out there, drop that link right now. All you
Oh my!
narrators.
I mean, I always say that. I don't know why I say it.
Bless your heart. Hey, on that
I mean,
we're gonna drop the
moderator.
link
My
in
bad.
the chat, and
Yeah,
try to keep
that's fine. Look, I'm about to because I got the computer up. I'm about to put follow me in the chat. You'll see it actually in the chat for anybody that's looking. Um, so
Shut up,
yeah, and
JQ. I know what
I'm
I meant
mainly
to
on
say.
Instagram, so that's where you'll find me.
yep. Hey,
Thomas is trying to get my YouTube stuff up. Trust me, we're talking about some things.
all right. Well,
So
that's gonna work out. Listen, if y'all also want to catch him on Locks and Load channel, if you're already subscribed, he's always on there. I'm sure y'all would know. If not, follow him also. Who is
yeah,
my
we actually
okay?
I'm gonna say yeah, we actually just dropped a new video. It's on our 13 nines. But anywho, I gotta roll out. Peace out, y'all.
What's
Be
up?
safe.
Hey,
We'll see
bro.
you soon.
Hey, Bill, I gotta show you something. Now, last time I jumped on one of these live, you asked me where was the brother on the wall. So there you go.
There's a brother on the wall.
That's right.
Thurgood Marshall.
Wait, wait,
Thurgood
wait,
Marshall.
wait, wait. Let me see. Let me see.
Let me try.
It looked
He
like
look like
Thurgood Marshall.
And
he look
then
like
Yeah, man.
Thurgood
I
Marshall.
see you. He look like it's something stank by the camera. Man.
Let me see if I can.
Well, let me take this moment out to say what's up to a few people. Nola Saint, what it is, Mr. Bullshit. It's good to see you again there, young fella.
Virginia Bushcraft.
Virginia
Virginia Bushcraft
Bushcraft.
is still up in here.
Uh-huh.
OG Tank, oh light skin ass. OG Tank in the building. What it is, JQ. What's popping? Geneva. We see ya. It's good to see you.
Hey, OG Tank, did you pass your exam to be a state? He was doing something the other day, taking his state exam or something to be an instructor for Texas or something. Did you pass it, brother? I'm
Oh,
just
that would be dope. Shout out to Tank. Ain't he too short to be an instructor?
I'm not even gonna go there with you.
Probably
I'm not
too.
even
I
gonna go.
appreciate you.
you gotta teach children.
Because I was sitting here trying to figure it out on my phone.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Thomas. Yeah, man. But yo, man, it's good to hear differences in opinions, differences in styles of understand. First of all, everybody to understand what gray man is. Like I said, man, it's a fucking deep dark hole, and being a gray man doesn't necessarily just involve firearms and how you carry and how you boast or brag about it. It's everything. Being a great man could be having a house that has $1 million inside, but you never fucking know it because you don't cut your grass. You know what I'm saying? So
Shit,
this,
well, you cut the grass 3 times a week.
A gray man lifestyle is like being a prepper. You got to decide how far down that rabbit hole you want to go.
Exactly. That's what a great man is about, not being noticed, but and being able to blend in. But a great man is also
Facts.
being able to be prepared for many different situations, so you can move and maneuver those situations effectively. That's a part of. We all think when great man, usually people think, oh, just somebody blending in or whatever. It's being prepared also. So you right, real deal. That part of prepping is the same. That's part of being a great man too.
Yes, exactly.
yeah, man.
It also involves who you allow to be around
True.
Ooh,
Oh,
True.
ooh,
True.
preach, preacher.
That's true.
That's a big deal, man. Who you move around, because who you move around is going to represent you at some point.
Mhm.
Facts.
you. Yeah.
So
I re-
go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, I'm sorry. I remember asking this question to somebody that let me turn that off. Like if you were in a situation and maybe you were in a hostage situation and you saw an opening to get out to escape, would the friends that you bring with you, would they be the ones that get you caught and killed, or would they allow you to sneak out knowing that you're going to get help?
hmm.
Hmm.
Deep.
That's a good question.
You
Yeah.
have to think about, is that the kind of person I want with me? Or here's another one. This one is way off. I'm sorry. If I was Harriet Tubman, which one would I have to do first? you know, if something went down and they about to get me killed, would I have to do which would I have to do that person? That means that if I consider them, would I let that person into my entourage, into my environment, or into my community when stuff is going crazy?
Hmm.
That one that'll freak out or do the stupidest thing, or when you're trying to be incognito, they asking for food. We know we got food, but we may not want to give out no food. Then they like, yeah, we got place in the back. Yeah,
Mhm.
he going with that guy.
So here's another, a thought. We all been around that loud ass cousin or that best friend that 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 gets you in a fight. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Mhm.
Being a great man, and it's amazing point, Parrot, and anybody who said it in the chat, being a gray man is creating a gray man culture for whoever the fuck is near you, your wife,
Mhm.
kids, all that's around you, your friends. You have to almost seek, in order to be a gray man, a true full on gray man, you have to seek out other gray men. How the fuck do you find other gray men?
Right, because they blended in. They great. How
You
you
got
gonna
to buy
find
them
out
at the
they
gun
great?
store. And how do you buy a gun? Because if you go to gun store, they know you're not a gray man.
Maybe you gotta buy it on the underground from ghetto or somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you used to be a gray man. You
I,
used to. You used to hide them before actually walking it past me.
I was a gray man for about
Yeah.
20 minutes until she found out.
Mhm.
And it was out in the open. All right, yeah.
But I had to figure it out. It's not like you actually was like, "Hey, sweetie pie, look."
But I bought it for you.
It was going to be a surprise. You spoiled it.
Yeah, you ruined it with a surprise. Thank you. So either way, man, I think there's so many different angles to this gray man conversation. I know probably the top of the line of that is how you carry, conceal, or not. But it's a deeper rabbit hole than I'm sure anybody in this arena is going to be able to talk on or complete the conversation. Gina, being that I would say you're, one of the newer in the
Mhm.
firearms world.
Mhm.
I know there's little things that you learn as the journey goes on, and it's
Hmm.
like tumbling pretty fast downhill for you. Mainly knowing what gray man is and how to be. when it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I think that tonight is a good way for you to get exposure to that. Even people within the fucking community that are so gun ho about firearms, that still was like, what the fuck is it great? I hear people talk about it. I never really understood it. I'm glad that we can have conversations like this so people can have that full understanding what a you know a gray man really means. And you can be it when it's time for you to be it. Not necessary for you to be that shit 24/7. You can be it when you need to be it. You know. So anybody who might walk like I walk and open carry and wear cool, fancy designer hats, that guy with guns gear. For people who do that, man, there's a time and a place for it. And
Hmm.
there's a time and a place where you need to be inconspicuous and low key as low as you can get. So do your best to practice to both. To know your environment, if that makes sense.
Right.
Hey Zach,
Mm.
I know. So what I was getting at earlier about making people uncomfortable. I know you watch. I believe you watch Long Island Audit,
Yeah, I do. I do.
right? So that's what I'm talking about. Like he goes out in public, he has his phone and he's recording the public area. And then
Hmm.
how many times do you see people come up to him while he's recording and say, "Hey, you're making me uncomfortable," and he says, "Then why are you coming up to the camera?"
I get that. I get
And
it. I know.
the same theory about open carry.
I see what you're saying. I just when we're in open forums like this, and you giving more context and you giving
Yeah.
more substance to what you were saying, somebody immediately will jump on and be like, "Oh, listen to this guy. He's what I'm a little protective about that because, like I said, we try to do this thing the right way, and people will come and take what you say and they'll throw it out of context and they'll say, "Oh, look at this crazy guy up here," because they do it and you hear them and you see people do it. But I understand exactly what you're saying. I get that because, like Billy, I watch the auditors all the time. I love watching them guys. It's one of my. I watch them more than I think anybody else. More than I watch gun
He
guys.
watches. I listen. I'm like, what happened next?
Tell me more. I like Long Island because he's respectful, and he gets his
Yeah,
point.
him, and Em Against Your Press. Those are my two favorites. But Long Island Audit is he's like the biggest.
Yeah.
He goes, he flexes his rights, and if you don't go, he'll take you to court in a minute, and then he don't keep none of the money. He gives it to charity. So yeah, I like him. He's another guy. He's fighting for his First Amendment just like we fight for the Second Amendment. So
Exactly.
those two things go hand in hand. He's one of my favorites, if not my favorite. And he happened to be from New York, so.
Yeah.
Well, the Amagansett dude that's Long Island too, right?
Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't live there anymore. But Amagansett, he started out in Long Island, what in the Hamptons area back out there.
Yeah, way Amagansett's at the end, Watertown, way out there.
That's where he started out. And Long Island is the guy who always say peace. He's just like you, Billy. That's why I said it's that Long Island thing. He said it just like you too.
Yeah, man. But listen, man, I don't want to drag this out too much. Realtor, you got something to add?
Well, I was gonna say, man, he is suing the New York Police Department left and right. He's
Yep.
going to them guys. I love it.
You got an active lawsuit with them right now because they threw him out of a precinct.
Yeah.
But listen, man, we are gonna run. I hope this shed light on people's opinion and thoughts on things. To respect each other's thoughts, to understand the opposite side, and not have a grudge against how anybody is carrying, because they are not you, they are themselves, and their environment and their situation is always going to be different from yours. How you make your decisions. So, on that note, I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us, for stopping by. Once again, shout out to Naga for doing the thing. Shout out to President Phil Smith. Shout out to all his team. Um, Shout out to Anaya, Alex's.
Hey, no, don't. This is exactly why. I mean, Alex's new book.
His little boo thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's why.
Yes.
Friend. So
Business on the street.
either way,
Hey, Burner Girl.
Burner Girl, what's up? But
Shout out to my fly family with the dope content.
I
Yeah, man.
appreciate
Absolutely.
it,
Thank
brother.
you. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. We just gonna try to keep doing what we're doing. Hey, listen, man. Y'all go ahead, do your 20 push-ups every now and again.
Ain't no
Tag
shame.
me in your post or something like that. But stay on the right track when it comes to your health. And
Wait, wait.
what?
Ladies, we're only doing 10. If you could do 20, you're
If
amazing.
you could do one, you're amazing. Because believe me,
I am up to
three
10 push ups.
3 weeks ago, I got about 4 off you, and that was it. And that was sweaty. That was sweaty. But either way, man, let's make sure that we're around for our kids and all that, man. So let's do the right thing and think about us. Think about we. All right.
Yep.
Till then,
For sure. Peace, everybody.
Peace,
see y'all
y'all.
soon.
Roger.
How we do it, Zach?